Welcome to video 3. My daughter-in-law was interested in what I do. On occasion, she'd ask me questions about it. When she was pregnant, she became fully aware that she had kidney stones. She went to the doctor a few times with little results. Then she asked me if I could help. I don't remember the details about what I do, but I focus on results. What I do remember about this is that I did work on her every time I was with her. And she remembers it going to the doctor and watching the expression on his face as the stones got smaller and smaller and disappeared. I treat everyone like family. What I did with the woman carrying my first grandson is what I do with everyone. I have love in my heart for everyone and everything. I believe it helps me do my work. I teach people an easy way to do this. I was in the sauna in an LA Fitness. A man walks in and turns around to leave, anxiously saying, "I can't do this." Impulsively, I said, "Stop." He stopped while holding the door handle. He said he had severe claustrophobia and needed to get out of there. I told him to focus on just me and know the door can always open. As I talked him through my process, he sat next to me by the door. 10 minutes later, he tells me he has to go. As he heads for the door, he stops and tells me, "Do you know where I'm going?" I said, "No." He goes, "I'm going to book my first airplane flight." That was pretty cool. After just about every workout, I enjoyed the sauna. The universe seemed to put me there for others as well. Another day, same sauna, man hobbles in very painfully, takes a long time to sit down and get comfortable. I asked him about his discomfort. Turns out he fell a distance and broke a bone in his foot, his lower leg, his hip, and did some damage to his back, all on his left side. I joked around a little bit and said, "Well, so you're all right now." We both laughed. I asked permission if I could help him. What I do remember is I was already in there 20 minutes before he got there. Another 20 minutes later, before he got up, he thanked me and casually walked out of the sauna with me. It's fun to see the looks I get from most of these people. What the heck did he do? How did he do that? Wow, there's no pain. This is stuff you can learn. While I was in many LA Fitness, there were many stories. I remember leaving the gym once. Before I got to the front door, off to the side, there was a crowd around a man who was on his back, laying down on his back. I recognized him because we spoke to each other in the gym about 15 minutes earlier. When he left, I went about my business and I left. Turns out he couldn't move. I stepped in and began talking to him. It wasn't long before he wanted to get up. I eliminated much of his pain, so much so that he got up to his feet by himself. I walked him to his car. He got in like nothing ever happened. Funny, but no one ever called 911. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens when it's time. I've used the word limitless a few times during these videos. Here's a great example. It was for me. I was teaching a class and I was talking about phobias. Now this is a potentially sacred place to go. Words are very important. The wrong word, words, or wording can put someone into that fear. I would never do that to anyone. I asked if anyone had a phobia, an irrational fear of something. A man said he had fear of spiders. He agreed to let me help him. I carefully watched him and questioned him about it. He was on one side of a very large classroom. I asked him how he would feel if he saw across the whole room that there was a teensy-weensy spider way up on the wall. He got a little uncomfortable. I asked him how he would feel if the spider, the teensy-weensy spider, was on the wall coming down to the floor. He had a little intolerance for that. So then I said, what if the spider was now down on the floor and walking towards him? That was the end of his tolerance. So I stopped and began deleting his fear of spiders. I think there were about 40 people in the classroom. Nothing I did worked. Nothing. Long silence. The room got very quiet. I remember the teacher once saying, if you're getting the wrong answers, you're asking the wrong questions. I have no idea why I did this, but I focused deeply within his energy. I didn't get a picture of it. I got a video. With the class wondering what was about to happen, I looked up and asked the man, when you were about 7 or 8, did you have a best friend who was about the same height as you? He thought, smiled, and said yes. I told him he wasn't afraid of spiders. I told him his best friend pretended to throw a spider at him, and he screamed like a little girl. But that wasn't the issue. The issue was the little girl who was standing near him, who pointed at him and laughed at him. Everyone saw him thinking and thinking. He looked up at me and said, "How did you do that?" to the gasp of the crowd. I actually had no idea. How is meaningless. It's all about results. Never overthink. But I wasn't done. I wanted to prove it to him. Remember results? I walked back over to him and pointed out that little spider on the other wall. He didn't seem to care about it. So I had him picture a bunch of spiders coming toward him. He didn't really care about that. There were actually hundreds of them, but now they were the size of your hand. They were black and hairy. They're all around you. He smiled. I said, okay, they're all over your head and they cover your body. He broke into laughter. I could hear about 40 heads explode. One was mine. Picture what your large black hairy issue is. Picture it gone forever. This is what I'll teach you in video 4. Think how great it would be to eliminate every issue, no matter what size or its power. I want you to think about the difference, the impact, the change, the internal response, the results that this can create in your life. Between now and the last video, think about what we've covered over the last 3 videos. Hopefully you know there's a way to make your life better. And it's easy to learn. Hopefully, after hearing what I've accomplished, you know that what was in the first 3 videos is possible. Hopefully, as video 4 unfolds, you'll find out there is nothing stopping you to actualize these results yourself. Nothing stopping you from having an amazing life. Nothing stopping you from having an amazing life-changing event that will help you for the rest of your life. In the 4th and last video, I will tell you everything you need to know about how to actually make your life better than you can even imagine. We cover how you uncover all this information to create a life-changing event, and how you can learn everything you need to actualize and actually be the supercomputer.